Hi guys, good morning, it's Mrs. Whitmer. Don't mind my video making skills here. We've changed things up a little bit where I've set the video camera up to do things, so you might get a little bit of a different effect. But I'm up in the morning, and I'm kind of starting my day before everyone else this morning because I'm finding that that is something that I really enjoy. And it's also something that I had kind of missed out on for a little while. I enjoy being able to sleep in, obviously, so I had taken advantage of that when I didn't have to get up quite as early in the morning. However, by sleeping in, I had missed on that time that I really do enjoy to have in the morning. So, also on another note, I want to let you guys know that the last couple of days, I started to feel pretty overwhelmed with everything that had been going on. That's a normal feeling. I had to kind of just step back a little bit and give myself some pause, and I even kind of threw myself a little pity party for a little while. That's a normal thing to do. It can get overwhelming with all the new norm that we have, trying to navigate that and figure things out for myself. That's okay to feel that way. So I'm sharing with you that that's how I was feeling, and I feel like it is might be something that other people are feeling as well too right now. Just trying to figure things out and how to be the mom, the teacher, the person, the wife, the everything, and how that fits into what's going on right now. And it's different than it was. So just as I had started to figure out how I was getting through my school year or my day-to-day activities, then everything changed, and that change is something that we don't always know how to handle. So I kind of took a step back and looked at those things. Also, I had on my lesson plans for my students, I put out there, we started talking about meditating, and I really wasn't sure how to do a video about meditating, but I started to think about that and what meditating is and what it means to me. It might not be the first image that you get in your head, or the idea of what meditating is, where it's the sitting and making the sound. That is part of the how meditating originated. That sound of it and the culture of it is part of the basics for meditating. It's not how I typically meditate, though. That's okay. But I do realize that I do have moments of meditating, and they typically were taking place in the morning when it is quiet at my house. I enjoy getting up and listening to the sounds that are occurring without people and what it looks like. So I enjoy getting up when it's still dark. I do like that. I like to see it go from dark to light. That's a good, calming feeling to me. I like the sound of there being no birds chirping to hearing the birds start to chirp. I like that sound. I even find myself enjoying the street sweeper machine when it goes by, because sometimes I can hear that. It means that there's enough calm outside and not the traffic going by, that's the time of day that the sweeper could go by. I like listening to my coffee in the morning. I definitely like the smell of the coffee in the morning. On another note, in one of my video takes, because this is a new thing, the way I'm setting things up, I of course have had a number of mishaps and had to make this video a lot of times. Again, I spilled my coffee all over the floor. Like, just knocked it right off. That was a little bit of an annoying thing that happened this morning, but so that was just brewing. I had to make myself another cup of coffee for sure. But I was glad that I got to be able to do that. So I do have a couple of things here to show you guys this morning, but the main thing I wanted to talk to you about was the idea of meditating, and that everybody is capable of starting that in some way, even if it's just for a brief moment, where you're just taking a moment to really focus on what is happening in your surroundings, in your space, right then and there. And we're all capable of doing that. It doesn't have to be this big long, deep thought process that has to occur. That's not, I mean, at some point we might get to that. And I do find that I would like to know more about a lengthier meditation process, but not everybody has to do that. You don't have to get to that point. Just the starting off, it only just takes that first step to start it. And I think we might find benefit in that. So here are some of the things. This might be a bit awkward. I'm going to take the camera and twirl it around, so you're going to have to see that for a minute, but I'll show you some of the things that I have. Okay, this is the first thing. So this is, once again, something neat that my mom showed me. There's so many neat things that she shared with me. This was something, I also think I did this in church, just like that other coloring. So easy thing, you just start with a dark color, you write that word using that dark color, and obviously, guys, it can be any word you want it to be. All right, start with that, and then you just start outlining, going around it in a pattern of some kind. It doesn't have to be a repeating pattern. It can be random colors, however you want to, rainbow or whatever. So then I got to the outside and then just did another thicker border out here with this. I like how that looks. Sometimes I'll even go with a highlighting color on the outside of it. But this, the repetitive process that you have to do to complete something like this is a healthy repetition and can have a calming effect on you to do so. That might be something fun that you would enjoy. I think this works really well with crayons too. I used to do that. This is just something kind of neat that I wanted to share with you guys. This happened to be the tear-off sheet for one of those desk calendars. I had this at school on the Wednesday. So it is this imaginary vacation and what that might look like for you. So this would be a neat way to even start meditating if you wanted to, visualizing what that is like for you, a vacation that you would like to go on. Just wanted to share that. I thought that was neat. And then along those same lines, here is another technique. This is called grounding. Okay. So the idea behind this is if you are starting to feel maybe a little bit anxious, worried, and maybe some of those thoughts are getting the best of you, where you can't focus on anything other than what's making you feel anxious, this is a good place to start and get you grounded. I also feel like this might be an appropriate thing to do to help you start meditating. So the idea here is looking around, and this is a quick think. This shouldn't take you a really long time to do. This is a quick think. 5 things I can see. And then it's a countdown that you say here. And then these words over here are your 5 senses. Does it really matter what order you do the senses? Not necessarily. I do feel like the seeing and the hearing are ones that are easier to find. You're not going to maybe have to think about them as much. So you might be able to say those things very quickly. So if I were to look around my environment, the 5 things that I see, I see my drawing. I see a computer, a kitchen sink, coffee maker, and a towel. Like I can just see those things very quickly, but it's getting me to look around and see what is right in my immediate environment. Then count down, and the 4 things I would hear, 3 things I touch, 2 things I could smell, and 1 thing I could taste. You might not be tasting it right at that moment, but 1 thing I could taste. Okay, so I encourage you to give this a try the next time you decide to meditate, or if you are starting to feel a little bit anxious and you want to try that out. Okay, last thing, I'm going to twirl you guys around here for a minute. There we go. Okay, last thing I want to talk to you about is on my lesson plan for today for my kids. The focus is on gratitude. I had shared in one of my previous videos that I had a grateful board at home that I really enjoy using. I'm encouraging you again to really think about the things that you are grateful for. So I'm going to share with you today. I am grateful for the sound outside. I enjoy listening to that sound. This might seem silly. I'm grateful for the fact that I spilled my coffee because I get to make another one. I get to make a whole cup. I had drank half of my cup, so I get to make a whole nother cup. So I'll get a cup and a half of coffee this morning. So I'm grateful for that. I am also grateful for technology. I'm excited that I have the means given our circumstances right now, I have the means to be able to connect with people still, because as human beings, we need connection. That is just part of what our makeup is. And that's something that we're, I think, programmed to need, is connection. So I'm really glad that there are means to be able to do that through video conferencing and chatting and making videos, all of those things. I'm very grateful that I still have that ability to be able to do that. So I encourage you guys, once again, keep track of the things that you're grateful for. Write them down, share them with people. I guarantee you it's going to help how you're feeling. I've never once heard somebody say, oh yeah, we started keeping track of what we're grateful for. I didn't like doing that. You're not going to, that's not what's going to happen. I guarantee you it's going to make you feel better. So I really encourage you to go ahead and do that. As always, guys, if there's something that you need, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you in any way that I can. I miss everybody. Bye.